If you have a mouse, a rodent, a rat, a field mice intrusion problem, if you've seen a mouse in the house, a rat in the garage, if you've seen any sort of rodent, you've come to the right spot. Because today we are doing a deep dive on rodent control on your home, and I'm going to show you all the ways, tips, and tricks to prevent, catch, and eliminate rodents, mice, field mice, rats, everything from your home. So let's get into it. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Average Homeowner's YouTube channel. If you are just now finding this video, it's probably too late. Your spouse, your husband, your wife, your significant other has probably told you, hey, you made this mess, you moved us into this house, you left those snacks on the floor, and now it's time for you to fix the rodent problem. So let's talk about exactly what you need to do to rodent-proof your house, as well as how to catch, kill, and eliminate those pesky little suckers. Let's go. So first, I'm going to walk you through all of the things that you're going to need in order to eliminate rodents from your home. This is going to include both baits, catches, and things that you can do to rodent-proof or mouse-proof your house. I'm going to walk through different steps and show you different areas you need to check on your home. We're also going to do a quick walk around my house, and I'm going to show you the areas that you need to make sure you pay close attention to and explain to you the ways that you can fix and rodent-proof these areas. So with that said, let's do a quick walk around the house and I'm going to show you exactly what to look for. As always, the links to everything I'm going to talk about today are in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's like 95% of you that watch my videos that don't subscribe, and I'm trying to get monetized. So it helps out the channel if you could just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, make sure you watch the whole video. I would really appreciate it. All right, first I want to show you while we're out here in the shop some of the things that I do. I've got these little sticky traps at all the corners. So I've got them on both garage doors on both corners, so I use about 4 of them in total. And I also have them on the house garage doors over there. And so what those are for is actually to catch the rodents as they try and squeeze in and out of the gaps. You can also use spray foam and spray foam those corners, but I don't like the look of the spray foam on the ground. Even if you cut it off and clean it up, it still doesn't look great. So I prefer to use those sticky traps. And they catch more than mice. I actually had a mouse caught on one last year, and I caught a copperhead trying to eat it. So I caught, the mouse and the snake. So I eliminated 2 problems with 1 sticky trap. And those are disposable, they're inexpensive, they come in packs of 10. I'll show you that when I show you the list of things you need in just a second. But let's do a little walk over here to the front door, and I'll show you some of the areas that you need to make sure you check when you're trying to rodent-proof your home. First, as you can see, there's a corner there and a corner there. Now, in an ideal world, you'd have brick or stone continuing across the bottom. That's called a brick freeze or a stone freeze. We didn't do it on the front door. So if you get up under those areas, let me see if I can get down here. Up under here, there's actually little areas where rodents can get into the home or anything can get into the home. What you're going to want to do is take caulking or seal that somehow. Now, the builders won't seal it because that would make it a water intrusion issue. So that's something you'd have to do on your own. Now, I always do mine. There's plenty of weep holes for water to get out. So I like to seal those areas because those are where the rodents can easily get in and out of the house. Next, let's walk over here to the side yard where I've got my dog door. This is one of those things that you absolutely want to make sure if you've got an exterior door on an uncovered porch, the same thing. You can see, ignore that humming noise, that's the septic system. I've got a brick freeze that should be going there. It's not there. So we have to seal up under here and up under here. And that's where we can make sure they don't get in. The next thing people always like to point to is going to be the weep holes. If you have stone or any siding material in your house, you're going to have these little holes right here. And they're every 2 or 3 feet around the whole bottom of the house. Now, one thing I've seen in the past is that everybody wants to seal them up, wants to caulk them. That's actually the worst thing you can do because that's how moisture escapes when it gets inside the envelope of the home. If you seal them up, homes are designed to get moisture through the masonry. And if they get caulked or sealed, that moisture can't escape. So what a lot of people like to do is they make little bushings that go in there, What I do when I've had a problem in the past, I haven't had to do it at this house, but I like to use steel wool, because steel wool will still allow moisture to drain, but it won't allow anything to get in. Steel wool is probably your best bet in that case. Now, another thing you want to do is make sure your flower beds and everything are free of debris, free of things for them to eat on. Don't keep cardboard and things like that outside your garage doors. Those are all things that mice like to feed on, and they'll attract them. And because I know I do cover grass on this channel, something you definitely don't want to do is keep all of your grass seed on the floor in your garage, because that will attract field mice, rats, everything. And that's nothing but asking for trouble. Another thing you can do to help with rodent control as well as snakes is to make sure you keep your grass mowed low, or as low as is recommended for your type of grass. Long grass causes rodents to want to nest and burrow, as well as provides moisture for snakes. And when you get rats or mice in your yard, the next thing that follows is snakes, and nobody wants that. Trust me, that's a fight you don't want to have, and I don't want to have to make a snake video in the future. But I probably will. All right, now that we've covered the areas to look for and look at and how you need to seal them, let's talk about what you can do to prevent and catch rodents in your home. Okay, so let's go through the list in the description. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to get this done. The first thing, and I showed this to you earlier, and a box or boxes of sticky traps. They come in sets of 10, and they come as 2s pushed together inside the box. So all you're going to do with these is pop them apart, break them apart. You can remove the tab if you want, and put these throughout the house. Now the nice thing is there's no chemicals on these. There's nothing that's gonna, pesticides, rodenticides, anything. I don't even know if rodenticides is a word, but it should be. These are just little sticky traps that if they get caught on them, they're gonna stick to them. And we actually had a puppy get stuck on one of these last year, and it bounced around the house on it for about 30 seconds. But if something like that gets stuck on it, these pull right off, and you don't have to worry about it with humans, kids, pets, anything like that. These will pull off just fine. They're very safe. But the mice and rodents get stuck to them and they can't get off because of their teeny little feet, and they're not very big. It's not like maybe a big rat could flex on it, but they wiggle around and they get totally stuck. Like I said, this had a copperhead on it and it didn't get off, so it does the job. Next are gonna be bait boxes. Now, if you're not familiar with bait boxes, they come in different sizes, shapes, everything like that, and they're just little black containers. Now, they all come with a key. This is what makes them safe for pets, animals, anything else in the yard. There's 2 little holes in the top there, and the locking key goes in, pushes down, turns, and you can open them. So this allows you to put bar bait, which I'm gonna show you in a second, out around your house. I put it in flower beds. I leave 2 in the garage. I don't like to put it inside the house, just because if you put it inside the house, the way that bar bait works, and let's get into that really quick. 1 bite bar bait. This stuff is phenomenal. The way that this works is the mice are attracted to it. They eat a little bit of it. It's got chemicals, minerals in it that make them very, very thirsty, and they head to their nearest water source. Once they find their nearest water source, because they're so thirsty, they drink until they no more mice. This is the best thing you can use, in my opinion, to eliminate mice around your house and in your yard, in your garage, because it makes them go look for a water source and they never make it back. Now, the way that this all works and what comes with it, I order these in a box. It comes with 10 or 12 little black housings, and then I order just 1 bite bar bait. Now, it's bar bait. It's not a chemical bar bait, barbituriate. It is bar bait. It kills rats and house mice. One of them, I just pulled this box out to talk about it. I had it out here in the shop in my cabinet, and it looks like one of the mice out in the shop got into one of the boxes of bar bait. Needless to say, he had an endless buffet because this is an entire 10-pack worth of bar bait, and he never made it back for dessert. So that's good. When you order these little containers, these are Exterminator's Choice. They come with a few different things. They come with a key or 2 keys in the box. They work in all of them. They come with these little stake down pegs. Now what these are, is these do have little holes in the bottom. And what you can do is you can put that stake in there and then push it in the ground so it doesn't move or shift. I put these under the door thresholds that I showed you. So I caulk underneath the doors, and then I put these in to make sure that if they're trying to get in the door or eat through that caulking, they would essentially have to go through this box. This box has a tasty snack for them, just a tasty snack that makes them disappear. It's kind of like the mob, what they used to do, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing you're gonna wanna make sure you have is rubber gloves, because when we handle the barbait, I know it's nothing crazy, it's not gonna nuke a human, but you do wanna make sure you're being safe. Just like with any chemicals or any poisons, you wanna make sure you glove up. All right, so let's go ahead and prep these barbaits. I'm gonna shift the camera down so you can see exactly how I do it. So when you're prepping the barbait, what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and open your containers up. See, this one's still got a little bit left in it, but we're gonna discard of that and get some fresh bait in there. Some of these are new, some of these came from out around the house. And we have had activity in all the ones that were out around the house. They've got a darn near nest built in this one, but they got a surprise, I guess. Then what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and take your barbait and open it up. Okay, and I was wrong. These actually come in blocks of 8. So you're gonna go ahead and snap them in half like that, and then they will break into 4s. Now there are some bait boxes that are made for this size of blocks, but the ones that I have actually use half blocks. So what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and get out your knife. And if you're not carrying a knife, make sure you start carrying a knife. Be a man. Or a woman. Use any sort of knife you want. And you're gonna take these and you're just gonna score them and break them in half. You just a little score, break it in half, and then you're gonna take this half and put it right there in the bait holder on the bait box, snap the bait box shut, and repeat for as many bait boxes as you need. Each bar for me will do 2 bait boxes. Score, snap, bait, close. Score, snap, bait, close. Score, snap, bait, close. We have it. Let's do one more bait box. We'll throw an extra one in the garage here. We got 1 piece left over. Score, snap, bait, close. Obviously, once you do that, go ahead and wash off your utensils, wash off your knife. I'm just gonna throw this back in the pocket. I'll do that when I'm all done this morning. And then we're gonna take our bait boxes, both sets. We're gonna go place them around the house. I'm gonna take you with me so I can show you exactly where and how I place them around the house and a little bit of what I was just talking about. As always, come on, if you made it this far in the video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I know you're watching and I really appreciate it, and I wanna thank you for helping me continue to make these videos. Well, let's go place some bait boxes. Okay, so the first place I always like to place one is inside of the shop and inside of the garage. So in the shop, all we're gonna do is literally put one right here behind our trap. If they make it past our sticky trap, then we're gonna get them with the barbait. Next, we're gonna go ahead and put one over here in the primary garage where my wife parks, along with my gym. We haven't had a lot in here, but it is where we keep our trash can and our cardboard. So we always just wanna make sure there's one in here, just in case those little suckers decide to come in and try and have a snack on something in here. All you gotta do is set it down. It's not that big a deal. Set it there, it's fine, it's good to go. Next, we're just gonna open up the gate and head to the backyard. And I've got one spot particular back by the pool that you always need to make sure you have one. And that's anywhere something's able to get in, hide, make a nest, do anything like that. And that's gonna be right here where we have our outdoor kitchen. Now, we've got a refrigerator over there. They can get in behind that. They can make a nest down there. So what I always like to do is come down here, open up the doors. You can see there's spider webs and everything down here. But I always keep a barbait down in here because if they get in there and try and nest, they'll eat it. And then we don't have to worry about them anymore. Okay, next we talked about how we like to put them at the brick freezes, or where there should be brick freezes at the doors where the threshold comes together. We're gonna go ahead and, oh, son of a gun. They ate through my caulking. I figured out where those little guys have been getting in. Let's see if you can see this. See that hole right there? That was all full of caulking earlier this year. I filled it in myself. So, I guess this is a good time to tell you that the reason I'm making this video is because my sticky trap in the house caught 2 little field mice yesterday. And it's right inside this door inside of our dog room. And I knew they were getting in somewhere. When I was doing the visual inspection, I was too busy making this video and I just didn't look close enough. So we're gonna go get some caulking and fill that in as well. In fact, I'll probably use liquid nails on it this time. What eventually I need to do is have my stone guy come back out and fill that with mortar so they can't eat through it. And if they do, they don't have any teeth left. But for now, we're gonna take the little bait box and we're just gonna slide it in under the threshold so that they have to go through it if they wanna get in there. We're gonna do that on both sides. And then I'm gonna come back as soon as I finish filming this video and put some liquid nails in there until I can get some mortar to fill it in. That said, mortar is always the best option if you've got stone, but expanding, foam, caulking, those things can both be used. Just know, as is evident by what just happened to me, that they can eat through it. They can eat through darn near anything. If they wanna get in somewhere, there's a good chance they're getting in. It's how you handle them once they're in and how you get rid of them that matters. Now we're gonna come here to the front door. Boom, bait box 1, other side, bait box 2. And I picked up the bait boxes from here. Those are the ones that I showed you that have been really somewhat eaten through. So it's important to make sure you're checking these regularly and changing them out as necessary. The other place I like to put one, and this is just personal preference, I don't know that it really gets anything or that it does much, but I like to put one right here in the flower bed. That way if they are thinking about coming into the garage and they swing by the flower bed first, they get a little snack and never make it in. All right, now let's talk about the sticky traps. We've got like 3 foster dogs right now, plus our dogs. I'm not gonna take you in the house today and show you where I put the sticky traps. But what I'll tell you is with the sticky traps, it's important to put them in areas where mice are attracted to or in traffic areas. So we've got an area inside of our little dog room where I caught them yesterday, and it's right where that door threshold comes in, and it's where they would have got in if they were getting in, right by where that hole is that I'm about to fill. So you wanna make sure you fill that up, fill the hole, and then put a sticky trap inside of it in their traffic area. I also like to put 1 or 2 in the pantry because that attracts them. And then in my storage closet in my office, because I haven't moved the office out to the shop yet, but the air conditioning is now hooked up, so that's happening this week or next week. We'll be filming all of our videos out here and in my shopfus, but I like to put one in that closet because that's where all our storage is. That's where we keep all of our important documents and papers. And so that's one of those areas that I know I don't want mice in, I don't want nest building in, so I try and do that. Now, this is an incredibly important point, and I want to emphasize it. If you keep the bar baits in your garage, if you keep them in your house, you run the risk, if mice are coming in through the walls, of the mice eating the bar bait, crawling in the wall, and dying, which will result in a terrible, terrible smell for about a week. If you smell something like this, just know they got in there, they died, something happened, it'll go away, you don't have to tear your walls apart, it's just the rotting mouse, which is kind of gross, actually, if you think about it. But if you keep them in there like that, you do run the risk of having something like that happen. So just be aware. I don't want to have you come back and say, I never told you that. So just think about it before you put your bait out. That said, if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your pest control, your rodent control, taking care of your yard this spring. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.